Well, hello again out there, everybody. I am Marvelous Mark, and I am back. Yeah, I know I haven't done a video in about little over a month or so, but I just kind of felt like I needed a break from doing videos and stuff, and I needed to get my batteries recharged, so I decided to take a little time off from my last video I did about the Slammy Awards, and I felt this was a good time to come back with who was coming back to WWE on this particular episode of Monday Night Raw. So, let's go. So we get this show kicked off with the Authority, and Triple H and Steph. They look like they're gonna introduce the Animal Batista. Well, because God's talking about how he was once a friend and once a foe, and he gets into all that. Then who should come out but Randall Keith Orton himself? And what really gets me about the dynamic between the Authority and Randy Orton is that aren't they supposed to be on the same side? Aren't they supposed to be kind of buddy-buddy? It's like, aren't Triple H and Steph supposed to be heels along with Orton? And I just don't, I'm not getting all this, but talking about how after Orton was upset last week by Kofi Kingston and he wanted to take out his frustrations on John Cena's father, who just happened to be sitting in the front row. But so then we get the real reason why I decided to come back to do a review this week, and that is the return of the Animal Batista. When I first heard that he was coming back, I was wondering what Batista were we going to get. Were we going to get the benevolent good guy that we saw from like 2005 till 2009 when he turned on Rey Mysterio breaking at the not the breaking point. It was like, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but were we gonna get that guy, or are we gonna get the whiny little bitch that we had that left the company 4 years ago after he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 26? But we got the good guy Batista, and I was happy to see him. And I thought he was pretty short and to the point with Orton saying he's back for one reason, and that's to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania. So I actually thought this was a good opening segment. Although I thought that it might have been like the last segment having to come back then, but hey, it's the opening segment, and you had 3 members of the Breakfast Club, so hey, it's a good opening start to the show. Oh, you start off the first match of the show with a 6-man between the Shield against Cody Rhodes and Goldust and Big E Langston. One thing you can say about the other matches that the Shield and Cody Rhodes and Goldust have had, they've had very good matches. Like, it hasn't really mattered what partner that the Rhodes brothers have had. They've had good matches throughout. But and I like the fact that they didn't give Roman Reigns the pinfall this week. They gave it to Seth Rollins with that curb stomp, or I think it used to be called the blackout in ROH, but that's a pretty nice move by Rollins there. But they're not trying to push Reigns too hard, I guess, but they're trying to push him enough to where they're trying to make him the breakout star of the group. Especially with that Superman punch, that is sweet. And then you got a spear. Yeah, sure, other people have done spears before, like Goldberg has his spear, Edge and Christian have theirs, but this was another good match by the Shield and Cody and Goldust and Big E. So yeah, it was good. Okay, they showed the replay of what happened last week in the steel cage between Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. But since I haven't done any videos for the last few weeks, I decided I'm going to give you my little take on Daniel Bryan joining the Wyatt family. Number one, I thought it was stupid. And it was just another thing where I thought that Vince McMahon was trying to make sure that John Cena was his number one babyface above all else, and turning Daniel Bryan heel. It's like, you just look at this and you just wonder, why in the world would you turn the guy that is the most over superstar in the company by far? CM Punk is probably your next over babyface, but John Cena's not even in your top 3 or 4, I don't think. But when you saw, maybe a lot of you have seen that video at the Michigan State game the other night, about a couple weeks ago, where one of the Michigan State football players was getting the whole Breslin Center crowd doing the yes chant. I mean, this isn't just a WWE thing anymore. I mean, this is translated into other sports, like college basketball. The whole damn crowd was doing the yes chant, and they're probably not all wrestling fans, but that just goes to show you how over Daniel Bryan really is. I mean, the pops he gets, they're almost Austin-esque. Going back to the Attitude Era and some of Rock's pops, you know. But that was just one thing I didn't get, and they were going to have, if you believe the dirt sheets, they were going to have you think that this storyline was going to go to WrestleMania, and then they were going to do the turn there. But I give credit to WWE by saying, hey, this Daniel Bryan with Wyatt family thing isn't working, so we better turn it back right quick. So I give kudos to them for doing it, and it hasn't seemed to hurt him at all. He's getting just as big a pops as he ever was before they turned him a couple weeks ago. So that's kind of my take on the Daniel Bryan Bray Wyatt thing. Okay, so piggybacking on what I was just talking about, Daniel Bryan breaks his silence, talking about how he's in the Wyatt family, and and how to take down somebody with a Messiah complex, you gotta break him down. Yeah. But basically, what this is setting up to be is setting up for a match at the Royal Rumble. So much for that concussion, huh? Evidently, it wasn't that bad. If he's going to be wrestling on Sunday night in a one-on-one match against Bray Wyatt, but when you listen to Bray Wyatt talk, he kind of makes you think. He kind of sounds like Jake the Snake Roberts in his promos. I mean, maybe not so much the way he talks, but he's just a little bit of creepy, and he doesn't holler and scream. But he's able to get his point across without doing it. I thought it was a great video, or a great promo between the two, I think, and that's going to be one of the matches I'm looking forward to in the Royal Rumble this Sunday. The only thing memorable about the Fandango and Xavier Woods match was seeing Emma in the crowd with her hashtag Emma-taining sign and doing her little dance, and you know what? I am really stoked to see her being called up to the main roster, and call up Paige while you're at it too, and someone get the title off AJ Lee, please, thank you. So then you have Corporate Kane, old Glenn Jacobs himself, in his nice little suit, coming down to call down CM Punk to the ring to give him an apology after he chokeslammed him at the end of SmackDown on Friday night. And Punk accepts the apology, and then he goes after Kane, and then Brad Maddox comes out there to save the day, and he's not going to make a match with him and CM Punk now, CM Punk and Kane, but turns out it's one one of the members of the New Age Outlaws, and what I thought was good is, I mean, kind of keeping with that old school feel. Billy Gunn and Road Dogg do their little rock paper scissors thing, and Billy Gunn actually wins. So then we get the match itself, and Billy Gunn, even though he's about 50 years old or so, the guy can still go in the ring. I mean, he really hasn't lost a step. I mean, this has been kind of the year so far for some of the older veterans coming back. I mean, Goldust, God, he's about as good as he's ever been, maybe even better. Then you got the return of Batista tonight, and then Billy Gunn wrestling and Road Dogg, but it's not so much that Punk won this match. You kind of figured he would, but Kane getting back at Punk for spite. So the number one man to start off the Royal Rumble this Sunday will be CM Punk. Then what they first showed on Friday Night SmackDown was a tribute to the late great Mae Young. And that was a very good video. It was about probably about 2-3 minutes or so. And how many 9-year-old women do you know that could take a powerbomb off a stage from Bubba Ray Dudley? I mean, yeah, granted she wasn't 90 when she took it, but still, I mean, any elder statesman like that. I mean, Mae Young to me was probably one of the only women on this planet that was tougher than my mother. God rest her soul, and God rest Mae Young's soul. I mean, Mae Young was definitely one of a kind, and I know I will miss seeing her on television, and I know a lot of other fans will as well. It was a very good video, I thought it was. Well, unfortunately, not everything about this show was good. Case in point, you get another match between Rey Mysterio and ADR. Oh, boy. God, we haven't seen this about 5 million times. But only thing good about this was after ADR gets the tap out from Rey, you get Batista comes out there to exact his revenge on ADR after all the crap that he's been talking, and he gets the wasn't really a Batista bomb, it was more of a Sid power bomb, but although he didn't quite do it quite as good as Sid, but especially not that spine buster. God, that's a little bit sloppy if you ask me, but I guess to be fair, he hasn't done one for about 4 years, so now we'll let that slide this time, but you got to do better than that, though. Then you got this Big Show Brock Lesnar situation that they've been doing for the last 3 weeks or so, and you know, when you saw Big Show on the New Year's Eve show from 2013, dressed up as the fucking Baby New Year, it's like, how in the world could you take a guy seriously who's dressed up like the biggest damn Baby New Year he ever saw, and trying to make him look like this big badass, like going against Brock Lesnar? And you know, yeah, sure, they've had their battles before, back in like 2003 when they battled on SmackDown and broke the damn ring with a superplex, but call me crazy here, this could actually be a pretty interesting match at Royal Rumble on Sunday. But and another thing I thought was funny about this was Big Show trying to do his best Paul Heyman impression, which was pretty good, by the way, but excuse me. Then Lesnar ends up coming out there and trying to act like he's acting all chicken shit, going him and Heyman going back to the backstage area, and then comes back out. They're gonna go a little bit, and Big Show manhandles him once again, throws him over the ropes, like like it was the Royal Rumble, but it's almost kind of a reverse psychology thing where you don't know if Brock Lesnar can take out Big Show or not. So to me, that's what's making this interesting. Oh, okay. Then you have your random Divas tag team match. AJ Lee and Tamina Snuka against the Funkadactyls. I guess maybe they're pushing Naomi to be another challenger to AJ Lee's title. And I'm sure Schleck Daddy would love that because he's a big Naomi guy, and I know he loves his sisters. But one thing I found funny during this match is like, you've heard the "Let's Go Cena sucks" chant. Now it looks like they got a "Let's Go AJ sucks" chant. Wow. Interesting now, isn't it? Oh, it looks like the push of the Usos continues because you remember last week's show. I mean, they had a couple of big spots. You had them in the opening segment of the show against Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan in a regular match, and then they get stuck. Then they get put in the last segment of the show in the steel cage. They wrestled again, but that time in a steel cage. And so this week they're taking on the other two members of the Wyatt family, and Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, and they win again due to Daniel Bryan coming out to attack Bray Wyatt from behind, which kind of poses a distraction, and they win. And I mean, you're going to see the Usos again in the Royal Rumble, both of them, and Rowan and Harper will be in the Royal Rumble itself, so you can have more stuff going on there, and you can push that feud along, and then you get more build up for Daniel Bryan against Bray Wyatt in a one-on-one match at the Royal Rumble on Sunday as well. So kind of kills two birds with one stone. All right, then your main event is Randall Keith Orton against Kofi Kingston once again after what Mike Snow called one of the biggest upsets on Monday Night Raw history when Kofi defeated Orton last week. But, excuse me. Well, you get the DQ finish after Cena appears. After they show him coming into the building, and he comes out to attack Orton. And after what he did to his father last week, excuse me. I can sympathize with that. I know I give Cena quite a bit of crap, but hell, if somebody would have attacked my father just turned 87 years old. If somebody would have attacked my father, I'd be wanting to do the same damn thing. But he ends up chasing him through the crowd and to the outside. But the one question I have is, who the hell was driving that car that sped away and took Orton away? And I don't know what kind of car that was, but that's what I'm really wanting to know here. Who the hell was driving that car? All right. As far as my final thoughts on this show, all in all, I thought it was pretty solid. I like the fact that the Usos are getting pushed. I mean, the Daniel Bryan Bray Wyatt thing is good. Having CM Punk start the Royal Rumble at number 1. That could be another Shawn Michaels type of thing, having him run the gauntlet, having him go all the way through it. Or maybe like another guy that started out number 1, Chris Benoit. But I did like the Mae Young tribute video. It was very nice for WWE to do something like that. Then as far as the Authority and Randy Orton and John Cena and all that good stuff, I'm really interested to see what happens at the Royal Rumble there, and will Batista win the Royal Rumble upon his return to WWE? And another thing, who the hell was driving that car that took Orton away, huh? But I'm Marvelous Mark. I will be back soon It won't be another month before I do another video. It'll be sooner than that, I can assure you.